Rage is a sacred signal. And I have been a little ball of rage since I was born on this planet.
Yeah, you have, rightfully so. Hey there, welcome to episode 252. We are here. And it's that Thursday morning again. I know last week
it was
a surprise. Now this week, maybe this will be our new normal. What time is it? 8 o'clock? Yeah.
Oh, wow. It's 8 and I'm awake?
Yeah.
Jeez. That's depressing.
Okay. You need to clarify what your sleep cycle is that you would be awake at 8. And that's surprising to you.
Well, because I only sleep for 4-hour increments. I've been this way my whole life. And it is called something, and I can never remember what it is. But before the Industrial Revolution, most people slept like I sleep now. And they'll sleep for 3 or 4 hours, get up for a couple hours, then go back to sleep for 3 or 4 hours. And that's my whole life. So I've literally designed my life to do that. So everything is around my sleep, and I should be asleep right now. So I don't remember what time I went to bed last night, but I woke up at 5:30, which is unusual. And I'm feeling a little sleepy. I think we need to do this later. Just kidding.
Yeah, right. Right.
Just kidding. Yeah, but I usually am asleep from about 7 to 10 in the morning. Then I get up.
Yeah.
Do my thing, get ready for classes or clients by noon.
But today it's nice. You don't have anything on the docket.
Except this.
Yeah. Then you'll be done and you'll be free.
And I just took a pain pill.
How you feeling? Are you feeling like, ooh, I feel amazing?
No, I can't feel anything. I've just got lower back stuff going on. So
the fact that you can do a podcast on a pain pill is...
Well, I just barely took it. I'm just like, oh, I think it's one of those mornings. So if I start sounding like a drugged person, which I highly doubt will happen, you'll know
why don't you share a little bit about where you're at? What's going on?
Well, about 2 weeks ago, I just started noticing that because I had we talked about my brain injury on the last podcast. I think that I recovered from that brain injury to about 90%.
But just for reference, in case someone hasn't listened to the last episode, the brain injury that Tiff's talking about happened in March 2020 after a bout of COVID. She was prescribed Xanax. She went off cold turkey. And because she had been on benzos way earlier in her life and had gone off of them, and then she, for many years, didn't have any, and then went on Xanax, went off cold turkey, and she had a brain injury, chemical brain injury, and it was fucking severe. And we almost lost her. It was very, 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 very bad. And then that brings us to here. And it took about, Tiff, you did no alcohol at all for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
You had to recover your entire nervous system. So when you just said, I'm about 90%,
Yeah, when I recovered from that brain injury, my nervous system was about 90% intact. And that's really good, because that's probably better than most. But I started feeling 2 weeks ago, I just started feeling kind of, so I would say the last year I've had windows and waves, and a window is where you feel totally fine, and a wave is where you kind of get a resurgence of a couple of symptoms, which is like physical pain or brain fog or something weird that I experienced. And I'm like, gosh, it seemed to get more and more. And then about 2 weeks ago, I'm like, yeah, I think I'm going to go off of alcohol totally, not drink any alcohol for the next 30 days. Now, I don't drink every day, but on the weekends, I usually have a pretty good time because we have our time off together. And I just know that alcohol affects the same neurotransmitter in my brain, the GABA neurotransmitter in my brain, as Xanax. So I've been careful, but I just thought I'll take 30 days off. So I went off, and on day 4, I started noticing like some pretty intense symptoms like I had. And now I'm on day 12 and I am in what's called a kindling effect of my brain injury. So it's a resurgence of my brain injury on a lower level. I would say I'm at about 65 or 70% of my nervous system capability right now. So I'm not well. But I'm able to, I still see my clients and teach my classes, but I can't walk super great right now. I'm having a lot of really severe physical pain. It's inhibiting my joints. Like there's some stuff going on, and headaches, lots of stuff. So this will be going on for a little bit, but it will repair. But I'm going to have to make a decision about alcohol, which means if I did the best thing, it would be to go off for good. But I can't think of that right now.
Yeah, you don't have to make that decision yet.
Yeah, that just makes me feel like I want to lose my mind, because I didn't have my first alcoholic beverage till I was 40 because I was a Mormon and I didn't drink. Then I drank, and I use it for such ritual and celebration in my life. It is one of my most favorite things on the planet, is to drink my wine or have a couple shots of tequila or whatever, and have get-togethers and, dinner parties. And it's just a really important part of the ritual of my life. And now we're looking at having to cut that part out. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. I just am in recovery right now again. At least I can breathe.
Oh yeah, there are so many markers that are much, much better.
Yeah.
The pain has been very high. Weakness, you're having a lot of weakness.
Yeah.
Some definite brain fog, but you still have more capacity to think clearly for yourself, which thank God for those things. And but the pain it's been really strong.
And you brought me eggs and toast yesterday morning because my shake was activating my nervous system because of all the vitamins. And you said, "Oh God, this brings back memories."
Yeah, I would make you scrambled eggs. So you have like setting the stage. This whole country had just gone into lockdown for COVID. Tiff is having a brain injury. We called the paramedics 3 different times. She was in the ER, twice? It was so scary. And she didn't feel like she could breathe. She didn't feel she couldn't swallow. She couldn't, everything was impacted so heavily in her body because of what was happening to her with her GABA and with her vagus nerve. And it was terrible. And so I would make her scrambled eggs and toast. And that was just the staple. Like,
you had to force me to eat for a while.
You didn't think you could.
I was afraid of food. I was afraid. I had lost my mind, honestly.
That's not a joke.
I was delusional, having hallucinations. Like, it was really quite severe. None of that is happening now.
No.
I'm just having a resurgence of pretty intense pain and weakness in my body, headaches, intense fatigue. So that's the main thing, and that'll get better, but I don't know how long it's going to take. But I'm sure as fuck not going to drink.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm sure you're not. There's no part of that sounds like you got to do that.
Absolutely not right now.
Yeah.
So
we'll just take it one day at a time. And here we are recording a podcast, for fuck's sake. It's like, what is that?
Oh, do you like recording it in here in the office?
Actually, it is nice.
Good.
It's nice to be back here. For a little while, I was forcing Tiff. And I don't use that word lightly. I was forcing Tiff to do it as video because it's nice to upload a video with our podcast. So we would do it on Zoom, and then we could put it on YouTube too. We still put it on YouTube. We just don't have our video with it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fine. We'll do what works. I'd rather have a podcast recorded than need it to be a video. That's for sure.
So, you're a slave driver.
I am a slave driver. But I'm getting so much more relaxed. And last week I talked all about my work schedule, and I have it all revamped.
You do?
Yep. I went in time blocked. Last night I got home. I think it was 5:45.
I know, that blew my mind. It scared me, actually. He starts coming in the door and I'm like,
who's here?
What's going on?
It's just your husband coming home early from work. I mean, I've worked 8.5, 9 hours.
A really long drive through the mountains last night.
No, honey, that was another day.
It was?
Yes, it was the day before.
Oh.
See, this is the brain injury thing right here, where it's hard for you to place time.
We didn't go on a drive last night?
No, we did not.
Are you sure you don't have a brain? Don't you remember?
Oh my God.
Was it
No, it was the night before.
I don't think so, babe.
Oh, babe. Oh God, maybe I'm having brain injury.
Because I swear to God,
we went through immigration in a row.
No, Immigration Canyon last night. Remember, you got home.
But did we do that 2 nights?
I don't know. It was probably not yet last night.
Oh my God. I think I'm absorbing your brain injury.
Well, you could be. You're an empath. Anyway, who cares if we went?
Anyway, I was talking about my schedule, getting home a little bit earlier. I time blocked. I shifted everything. I adjusted my Saturdays, so I have at least one full Saturday off a month. We always take Fridays off for date day, and I've adjusted so I can come home earlier on the weekdays. And I think it'll be really great. I actually started sending out my updated link to all of my clients. I'm now going to have all of my clients schedule their own sessions off of my schedule rather than me always trying to juggle and make it all work.
Oh, that's nice.
I know I'm taking huge strides forward.
That's really huge for you.
It is. It really is. I feel good about it too. And I do know that it literally is because of breaking the pattern of the need to rush, also people pleasing, things like that.
Yeah.
It changes things.
Are you still going to try and please me?
I don't know.
I mean, don't give up all your people pleasing.
Tiff is sitting here triggered as hell. She's like, what?
No.
What are you talking about right now? What? There is one person that needs pleasing. And that would be me.
Oh, gosh. That's funny.
That is really funny.
Oh, you're right. We didn't go last night because you got me a burger from Wendy's.
Oh, thank God. Wow.
Yeah.
Good to know. So here's the deal. This morning, as I'm out on my very long walk, I've been taking hour-long walks. Like, that's another very big shift.
I know.
Because I felt like I just didn't have time. I don't have time. I have to rush. I have to hurry. And I went for a very long walk. It's much cooler today than yesterday.
Was it?
Yes. I almost needed a jacket. But anyway, I was just going to say, it looks like they're going to be filming another part of the movie on our street again.
Oh my God. This street can I just tell you, this street is movie central. Like, how many times since we've lived here in 15 years?
Oh,
dozens.
Yeah.
Of times.
And they lined the streets with all the trucks and the food trucks and the rigging trucks and all the trucks. And then you can't even drive on our street. You can't park on our street. It's just crazy. And it's like a horror flick. It is. It's a show, maybe some of you watch it, where it has 2 different endings that you can choose.
Alternate reality endings.
Yeah, that you can choose the horror ending or the regular ending. I need to find out what series it actually is.
It's a series?
It is.
Oh.
It's a series.
No wonder they're here all the time.
Yeah, I guess it's not a movie. It's a series.
Jeez. It's kind of a pain in the ass. I used to think it was cool. I'm look at all the movie trailers. I'm like, oh, and now I'm like, oh, great. Now I can't park in front of my house. I am a bitter and cynical woman now. I have decided that with all of the turbulence in the world and all the things that have just made me enraged that have been coming up, I have turned into a little bit of a bitch. Little bit of a bitch.
Sometimes you have to be a bitch just to.
I saw this woman on TikTok and she goes, and it's this older woman. She's probably in her 80s. And she was like, if you want to be happy in this life at this time, you're going to have to be a bitch.
Oh, God, that's perfect.
And I was like, oh, my God.
I love
that. That resonates with me so much right now.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So, here we are living our life one day at a time. I was talking with a client last night in a session, and she's doing some really awesome things on TikTok herself, and just recognizing how much it takes for us to put ourselves out there.
Yeah,
right?
totally.
I'm talking to you, our listener, as well. Like, when I say putting ourselves out there, I'm talking about all sorts of things. Some people do YouTube all the time, or they're posting videos, or, sharing information, or teaching, or doing TikToks. Tiff is always doing TikToks and making posts on Facebook and Reels and
writing songs.
And I'm doing YouTube pattern breaker videos. And, we're just constantly putting ourselves out there. And sometimes you get in your head about it, and it's not the easiest thing. And another way of putting yourself out there is setting a new boundary or changing the way you show up in the world. And it makes people push back, or we experience pushback. And it can feel really scary to be our authentic selves in the world. And being just like that woman you were talking about from TikTok, where she goes, what the way the world is, sometimes you have to be a bitch. And sometimes you do. And regardless of who judges you as being an asshole, you do have to stand up and speak your truth in order to be aligned with your soul.
And I feel like everyone is changing so much right now. People are shifting into more of themselves and letting go of the pretense or the performance of living, and letting go of relationships, and they feel like they have more to say. So people are feeling the call to be seen.
I love that.
Oh, it's intense.
It is really, really intense to be seen.
Yeah, there's so many layers to it. Because just speaking about me, because I have all my Facebook articles. I have TikTok. I know I have stuff going on Instagram, but I don't put it on there. Your person does. And like, I just have been releasing my songs on Spotify, and they're all messages that empower women. Everything I do is about empowering women. And I've been getting some pushback, not a ton, but the pushback that I do get is typically from men.
Of course.
Which is never good, because I'm at a point now where what I used to do on social media is I used to just say nothing, because I didn't want the energy. And now I have just come to a new place in my life where, because I always used to think to myself, I'm going to take the higher road. And that's spiritual bypassing. There's so much spiritual bypassing in the genre of the world that I work in, and I'm just not willing to do it anymore. So when I do get pushback, I have now started to stand.
I'm really glad you're talking about that, because I feel like that's one of those threads that's happening right now. When you and I would do all of our coaching together, and we would always see, there were themes that lots of people were going through at the time. And one of the themes that I'm recognizing right now is what you're speaking to, about where we used to maybe hold back or feel like, I'll take the spiritual high road, or just keep it to myself so I don't cause any conflict, or, it's not worth the fight. And I think that day is done. I think it's time now for each one of us to speak our truth, to stand in our truth, to not always pull back and feel like, oh, I don't want to hurt their feelings. Now, I'm not saying be an asshole, but I am saying speak your truth, and let your truth also exist in the equation, or in the conversation, or in the whatever is happening. Have an opinion.
Yeah, I have, in my life, I have spent so much time trying to avoid conflict because I hate it so much. Because people typically are more attached to being right than receiving truth, or hearing truth, or changing their mind.
Yeah.
So
That's a thing.
I'm always like, you win. Have it your way. I have nothing to prove. And so I'm not going to say anything. Well, with all the changes that have happened, I think honestly, the thing that got me was the Epstein files.
Where you realize there is a pretty wild world happening out there.
Well, I've always been someone that has been very protective of children and women. Yeah. And I just did not fucking know what was going on. I did not understand the depravity or depravity, however you want to say that was going on underneath this world. And now the rot is coming to the surface. And I just, all those people that I thought were conspiracy theorists that were talking about the Epstein files, I was super dismissive because I'm like, that cannot be happening. And I don't know what it was, but it came out and then people started talking about it. And I'm like, is this shit actually real? So I started taking some deep dives, and that deep dive was life altering for me. Because I was listening to the survivors of the Epstein files. I can't say his name, but the president of this country is mentioned in the Epstein files like over 33,000 fucking times. And people that are just like, oh, it's just nothing. I'm just like, really? Have you really taken a look at what everything is? And I've listened to survivors and I've listened to them talk. And I am a psychic medium and I can hear what's true and what is not true. And they're telling the truth. And after I realized what was actually going on, I thought, oh, fuck no. No more of this just trying to play nice. No more spiritual bypassing of saying, everything that happens is meant to happen. It's bringing us to our best and highest good. Like all those things are true. But when you use those things so that you don't have to look at other things and you can be in denial, and I was doing that, I'm not doing that anymore. So I am now, I've just coined myself. I'm just like, yeah, I'm now the taboo queen and channel of the blue. No,
Queen Taboo
and channel of the blue. And I'm just like, that's my life now. As I'm talking about the things nobody wants to talk about.
You've always done that too.
I guess.
You're louder
level.
Now.
Not at this level.
Yeah, you're definitely louder.
I mean, I've done it with, privately with people, but now I'm talking about stuff, and I have had some pushback, and most of it comes from men because they're like, not all men. And I'm like, yes, not all men, but a lot of men, and I'm not saying all men are abusers, but a lot of men have been abusers, and many men are complicit because they're not standing up and speaking and standing up in protection of women. Women are the ones protecting each other. And that is the fucking truth. Whether someone agrees with it or not, it just simply is what it is.
Yeah. And it's the patriarchy, it's the structure of patriarchy that's so indoctrinated into men and women. And all of us have been under this haze of bullshit. And we're trying to sort it out and figure out which way's up and which way's down and what's true to me and what matters and what are the things that I'm going to actually take a stand for in my own life. And that's why I feel like there's so much power in people identifying their own shit that they're believing about themselves so they can have a stronger voice everywhere, right? To be more true to themselves and speak their truth and take a stand for the things that are important to you.
Yeah, there's no more being neutral. I hate to say it, but it's like you have to take a stand or you're going to fall by the wayside in a hardcore way, because we're living in a world that has got so much contrast in it right now that you can't deny anymore. The rot has come to the surface and it has just begun. There is so much more coming, and you cannot say no to something if you don't know there's something that needs to be taken care of. If you can't see the rot, you can't disagree with the rot.
That's absolutely true. And, seeing what's happening in front of our face there's a certain level of willingness to see that is required. And you can tell me, Tiff, I mean, you may see what's going on through the blue, but it seems to me that the rot or like it's forcing its hand, like we're almost being forced to see.
We are.
And you can't stay in denial as easily as you did before.
Absolutely not.
It's loud and it's everywhere. Although there are some people that do still feel like they're like holding a pretty good level of denial.
Well, that's just like, that's on a time limit. Like, it's not going to last.
Good.
And there is a very, very serious problem with cognitive dissonance, because the structure of patriarchy has conditioned the world, not just Americans, the entire world of man-woman bodies, to believe very specific things. And it's been going on for 10,000 years. And it is the erasure and the destruction. The whole purpose is the erasure and the destruction of the divine feminine.
Yeah. This is good. I think it would be great for you to share more about that.
Ugh. It is quite a topic. But this is what I know to be true. You have to listen with your own intuition. You can disagree or agree. Either way is great. But this is what I have come to understand, is that the female is the most powerful force in creation, because the female body is the vehicle that is the creator of other bodies. So there's a lot of power in the female. There is natural intuition. There's the ability to create life. There's the ability to sustain life after birth. There is the ability to organize and what do you call it when you think about a bunch of things at once?
Multitask?
Yeah, multitasking. Women are rising in their power right now more than they ever have in history. But we were taught to be pleasing, to be quiet, to turn to the masculine for answers, to look outside of self for someone to tell you how to be and how to feel. And I remember myself, this really hitting home for me when I was sitting in the LDS temple.
Oh, I'm so glad you're going to...
With my husband.
Oh, yeah. Talk about
my
this.
first husband. And in the ceremony, they talk about that you are to follow your husband as he follows God. And you covenant to that in the temple, like that you will follow your husband.
Yeah, that he's in between you and God.
Yeah, and I'm just sitting here going,
give me a fucking break.
My fiance can't even fucking kneel down to pray, and I have an innate connection with God by myself, and I don't fucking need that. I mean, that was going on in my head, but I'm like, I'm going to be a good Latter-day Saint, and I'm going to do that. And I was married to a dud, okay? Spiritually, a dud. Religiously, a dud in so many ways. And like, I'm just saying it how it is. I've always been like, he's so sweet and kind. He was a nice person. Okay. He's not aggressive, didn't call me names, but he did not lead. And I always was looking for the lead. Where's the lead? And
it was you.
Oh God. Right. I'm just like, okay.
Oh, God.
So I was just like, why would I go to a man to connect to God? And why is God a man? When the most powerful force in creation is the female, because she's the creator, why would the creator in the sky be a sky daddy? I just am sitting here going, what is actually going on? And the more I have delved in, I have learned so much about matriarchies, and I have learned so much about patriarchy and what it's actually done. And here's the other thing that I just heard that is so true about men and the patriarchy, is that men are conditioned to not feel. They're conditioned to follow the loudest voice in the room if it's a man. So whoever's the most loud and aggressive is who another man will submit to, instead of being his own lead, his own compass. You listen to the guy outside of you that's the loudest, and that's who you follow. That's why the manosphere is such a big deal right now. Because these stupid little boys are online lying, like blatantly lying about women. And boys from like 12 to 30 are believing this bullshit, and misogyny is exploding in that age group.
12 to what?
12 to 30.
And what are they, well, like, what are the lies
The
they're telling?
women are here to be of service to men. They're here to breed. And the word breed is a word in the manosphere. They are here to comply sexually whenever. They're here to do whatever a man says. They're here to get married and breed. That's what they're here to do.
That's disgusting.
It is so disturbing. If you watch the show, Inside the Manosphere, I think it's called, on Netflix. It might not be called that, but Manosphere is in the thing. I sat down and forced myself to watch these fucking dipshits. Okay. It was so shocking to me that they have any influence at all. And man, they have a massive influence. Massive. And what they're doing to women. But here's the awesome thing. Gen Z girls
are like, you can go fuck off
yourself. Yeah. Gen Z girls are about, I think 80% of them are feminist.
Right on.
And Gen Z boys, most of them are against feminism. They're all about the breeding of the women.
We know how this story ends.
Yeah, we sure as fuck do.
And it's not going to be with women being pushed down another day.
Oh yeah, good luck trying.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck trying.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad that you shared that. I think it's really.
So I get so seriously fired up about this shit. I cannot even tell you. And so yesterday I was talking about, in our school, I was taught a class on feminine rage.
Oh, good.
And I talked about rage. I'm just like, the emotion that is the most clipped off from human beings is rage, because we're told it's bad or evil if you have it. But the truth is rage is holy, and it is a signal that something is terribly wrong and it's time to take action. If you're always feeling like, no, I don't have any anger, I don't have any rage inside of me, you're completely cutting off your own sovereignty and your willingness to take action to make change. So that
makes so much sense.
Yeah, rage is a sacred signal.
I love that.
It is.
Rage is a sacred signal.
Mm-hmm. Huh. And I have been a little ball of rage since I was born on this planet.
Yeah, you have, rightfully so.
So when you feel rage, that's a signal that's telling you it's time to get up and move. Because check it out. You get rageful, and what happened? What chemical do you release in your body? Do you know?
What is it? Adrenaline?
Yes.
Yeah.
And what does adrenaline make you do?
Makes you fight, run, yell, scream,
it makes you
hit, punch.
It makes you move.
Yeah, it does make you move.
So why doesn't it make sense that patriarchy would condition everyone to think that rage is bad?
God.
Think about it.
That is so true.
Right?
It's like, oh, rage is so bad. Rage is so wrong. And it's because they don't want you to stand in your power.
Yeah, and move. And make a change. And say, nope, we're not putting up with this. We're fighting against the machine that's trying to destroy and repress us. So yeah, everywhere you look, there's a lot going on. And most of us have no idea what to do with it, because what's coming up for us is rage. So I just had all my students, I said, what is your rage calling you to do? And they all had some pretty profound answers. That's
a really good question. Like, what is your rage calling you to do?
Well, do you have rage?
Yeah, I do. I have tons of rage right now. Tons of rage at the injustice of what power and greed is doing to humanity.
God, did you even know? Did you even recognize how severe it was?
No, I didn't. I started recognizing my own rage started getting really loud as the standing president right now was coming into power, because of my own history of sexual abuse and feeling powerless. and feeling that energy kind of coming up. And then with the exposure of the Epstein files and the things that are coming to light with all the sexual trafficking and abuse that's been happening, it makes absolute sense. That's where my rage is the loudest. And when you just said that, you're like, what is your rage calling you to do? I would say the thing that my rage is calling me to do is speak even louder about helping people break their patterns so they can live their truth. And this, I feel so strongly about this because every single human, when they are more truly connected to their soul or their soul's true essence, there will be something powerful and important that you will do on this planet as that your true self, right? Living in your truth, not in the upside down bullshit that's been perpetuated on our earth for so long, that's now done, and the shift has happened where things are now being exposed. We're moving headlong into the new way of living, which is the true way of living. So it calls me to speak even louder about helping people break their patterns.
Yeah, totally.
That's the only way we can and it kind of circles us all the way back to the beginning of our podcast today about people speaking their truth, right? Because we talked about now at this time that we are being pushed and compelled by the energy and the frequency of the earth itself to stand in our truth and to speak our truth and to feel our rage and to take action in a way that feels aligned to our soul's truth.
Yeah.
And
I think most people were conditioned that if you feel rage, you're out of control. That's the whole premise there. It's like you're not a rageful person because you're in control. You can't feel rage or you'll be out of control.
This is so important.
And I just am like, rage is the sacred signal. It does not mean that you have to go punch in windows and kick in walls like I did when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know how to manage it.
Of course.
It means it's saying, hey, something's wrong. Get up and move. And what are you being called to do?
Yeah, I love this.
That's it.
I love that. What a beautiful.
And I'm being called to speak.
I love it.
To speak about the things that no one wants to talk about because it's just so uncomfortable. And it's not hard for me to do that because I really don't have a filter and I'm not afraid of being judged. So if someone doesn't like me, I'm totally comfortable with someone's opinion of they don't like me. I really don't care about that. So I don't feel that fear of I can't say this or I'm going to be hated. Do I get nervous when I post stuff? Absolutely. Because I'm like, is someone going to hurt me?
Yeah, you're really.
That's my thing about that. Is someone going to try and hurt me? And I have to say, well, is it worth it to stay quiet and complicit? Or be afraid of being hurt. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. So I do it anyway. And the thing that has blown my mind is how many people are like, thank you so much for saying this.
Yeah. Because
this is how I feel and I've never been able to speak it.
Which is why you can justifiably call yourself Queen Taboo.
Absolutely.
Because you will say the things that people have been afraid to speak about historically, and then you're normalizing it for people so they too will find their voice, tap into their rage. And I just had a thought as you were talking. So when Tiff's talking about teaching all about sacred rage in our school, we have a community of deep feelers that come together every week and hear Tiff teach whatever is needing to be spoken. And if you have any interest in coming into our community, just reach out to me, send a message. I'll put a link here. Send us a message at support@yourreturnpath.com or go to our website, yourreturnpath.com. There are all sorts of ways to find us. Send a message to Tiff, send a message to me. Hey, I want to know about your community. How do I join? We'd love to have you there. Because these are the conversations that are being had inside our group.
And there is community. And it's like-minded people.
It's amazing.
They all love each other so much and support each other. And then you can come together once a week, not just with me, but with you also. And it's just really a wonderful thing.
Yeah, it is.
As you were talking, I was thinking about the thing that, I was talking about the Epstein files. I have to say this because that wasn't the thing that did it for me, that made my rage explode. It was that all the spiritual gurus and teachers out there, nobody except Marianne Williamson was speaking about it. And I just thought, are you? And when I found out that Deepak Chopra was in the files and his cavalier conversation with Epstein about women, that was it for me.
About girls.
Yeah. Yes, girls. Thank you. That was it for me. I just about lost my mind when I found out John of God was sexually assaulting, I don't know how many people.
Yeah, he's in prison.
He's in prison. And, he was promoted by some of the tops, like Oprah and a bunch of people. And from what I could see, he was a very powerful person. I didn't delve into him too much, but I respected him because of the people that I listened to. Now he's in prison. And then I hear about Deepak and I'm like, oh, fuck no. And that is when I started doing research and I saw that none of the spiritual teachers were talking about what was going on with Deepak or anything else out in the world that's going on that's trying to destroy the divine feminine. And they talk about the divine feminine. I'm like, I'm not going to be one of those. So I started speaking up and I listed every one of their names that have not spoke up and their followers, how many followers, and I called them all a coward.
I know.
It flew. That post flew to thousands and thousands of people. And I got some backlash on it. And I'm like, bring it. I do not care. I even said this. I'm like, I don't care if I lost my entire business.
Yeah.
I won't even shut up about this.
And, a little bit of the backlash, some of the backlash was people like, why aren't you just taking, the higher road, or why are you perpetuating? And my thought was, what about all the kids that are still imprisoned and being trafficked and their little bodies are being broken?
Yeah. And
what about them?
They're waiting for someone to come and save them.
They are.
And I can't go in there and save them, but I sure as fuck can speak up.
And speak and speak and speak. And there are people on this planet whose direct work will be hands-on uncovering this.
Yes.
and prosecuting.
And they're doing it.
Yeah, they are. And I wish it could all happen fast.
So I wrote a song called The Voices of the Children. It's on Spotify or Apple Music under Crown Blue. That's me, Crown Blue. And it will really inspire you. That song will, The Voices of the Children. Yeah. And all I have to say is that I cannot in good conscience no longer speak up about the things that are here that need to be resolved because they're hurting people. They're hurting children. They're hurting women, and men are also being hurt in this process. So yeah, the whole thing is just.
So how do we, my question for you is, how do you navigate the horror and the heavy and the traumatic? How do you navigate it? How do you keep your nervous system regulated? How do you work with your energy to be able to still experience joy, peace, clarity, hope in the face of hard things? Very difficult, traumatic.
This is a great question, especially for me right now that my nervous system is like gone kaput again. But I was using alcohol, and a lot of people are, and I wouldn't recommend it, but it's what a lot of people are doing. And my mom died 1.5 years ago. My son completely cut me out of his life right before Christmas. And then I'm dealing with all this stuff, the emotional stuff that I'm seeing, the upheaval in the world. And so I have just been under the gun, and I've drank more than I've ever drank this last 1.5 years, not drinking constantly, but when I do drink, I really drink. And I was using that for my nervous system. And we have to find ways that are better, because what alcohol ends up doing is if you don't keep up that level or go higher with the amount that you're drinking, your nervous system is going to start having a hard time. So there are things that you can do that are not about taking anything into your body to calm it. So this is what I recommend is take lots of breaks from social media and news, because When you get in the mindset that those things create, then you think everything, everywhere, all the time, 100% is absolutely bad. And you forget that life is still happening outside. Get out into nature because nature will clear your energy. Make sure you're hydrated. And if you don't have heart problems, make sure you're getting electrolytes, because we're being depleted because of the intensity. Our nervous system is trying to process all this fire hose of information. So get your electrolytes. And if you don't, if you have heart problems, talk to your doctor about how you get those vitamins and minerals. And also eat grounding foods. Make sure that you get grounding foods are like root foods, protein and like root vegetables. Those will help you stay grounded, and rest and cry.
And rage.
Yeah. And when your rage comes up, ask your rage, what are you calling me to do?
That is so powerful.
Like, seriously, it's like, what can you do? And it's not calling you to hit someone. It's calling you to take action in some way that will benefit the whole.
Yeah. And I would say one of the things I learned about navigating my rage is to speak it out. So I'll go for a walk, or I'll go somewhere where I can talk out loud to myself all the things that are pissing me the fuck off. And it feels like it makes the charge less, so I can think more clearly and not feel flooded in my brain.
That's awesome.
From the rage.
A few things that I shared with my students yesterday is scream. Go do your primal scream. You can go into the forest, or you can do it in a pillow.
Yeah.
Writing with a pencil or pen on paper, all of your most vile thoughts.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then shred it or burn it if you're afraid. You know, I've noticed like sometimes it feels scary to do that because you wouldn't want it to be seen. Because it's so gnarly, especially where we're taught that it's wrong to be angry, or it's taught wrong to have rage, or those are great suggestions.
Yeah, and you really do have to take breaks from the information. Like that's as important as like grounding, like putting your feet on the ground. You have to take breaks.
Oh, I definitely do.
If you don't, you'll be too inundated, and your nervous system cannot manage all that information. And just remember, the horror will be there tomorrow. You don't have to
witness the collapse. You just have to keep going and live your truth.
Yeah, you're in the collapse. I mean, the collapse of everything old is done, and the new is rising at the same time. And also pay attention to the positive things. Really focus on the good things that you see and feel those things. That's really important, because not everything is destroyed. Half of everything is rising into what it's supposed to be. It's not all dark. It's dark and light all together.
Yeah. And I would say the other thing is do a pattern breakthrough.
Oh, yeah. Come and see Jack.
Yep. We offer a free pattern breakthrough. The first one's on us. You'll see me or one of our facilitators, and come and break a pattern. Experience what it looks like to no longer have to rush yourself to death, and actually be able to take more time and live your life at an easier pace without pressure. And it's an amazing thing. So there you have it. I feel like that's a really great place to wrap this episode. And do you remember our new tagline? Because we have one.
Yes.
Eat dessert first. Because why the fuck not?
Thanks for reminding me.
Thank you for being here with us today. Tiff's going to go take her second sleep. I'm going to take a shower, head to the office. Thank you for being here. If there's something that we shared here that made a difference for you today, please share us with your friends. We'd love that.
Yep, we'd appreciate it.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye.